The first vice president of Kenya, the late Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, wrote a book, Not Yet Uhuru. And many years after his death, we can attest to the fact that more than 62 years after Kenya gained independence, there is no independence that we are talking about. Wait until you see a Kenyan being arrested because he wrote a play for a high school student. And that play does not resonate well with the powers that be, the government of the day. And the person is being arrested. I'm revisiting the story of the former UDA Secretary General, Cleophas Malala. And what caught my attention is not just his arrest. And my attention was caught when the head of the DCI Nakuru County, in the face of a court order that had granted Malala an opportunity to train and go ahead with the play, the DCI, standing in the face of that court order, declined it. And I concluded that indeed it's not yet Uhuru in the country. Not only that, the police had to fire live tear gas in the presence of students, all because of one person, Malala. Where are we headed as a country? Ladies and gentlemen, I want us to look at this, because if there is no political goodwill to respect the law and the constitution, then we are plunging this country into anarchy. No one will, if the police that is supposed to maintain law and order is breaking the law. Kindly watch as Malala presents a court order serving the head of DCI. And he's there with more than 50 policemen or so. And they refuse, they don't want to grant Malala the privilege or the right that had been given by the court to go ahead with the play, because the play is supposed to be performed tomorrow. Right now it's midnight, so it's just a few hours before that play. So they don't want him to go and guide the students.
Want to arrest me? It's good. No, Marubu, you told me you want to arrest me to take me to the police. That's what you told me. Me, I have a court order here. I'm serving you. The High Court has allowed me to direct the play. They are performing tomorrow morning. Other directors are performing. So, this is the court order, High Court order, rubber stamped for your perusal. High Court. Serving you, you're the head. Marubu, this is my friend, head of DCI Nakuru. He was in Kakamega, he left Kakamega yesterday, or last week. Yes, so this is the order. Have I offended you? No. Have I gone against any rule? I'm just implementing courts. No. You've not told me where am I going to? No. Have I been summoned? Where are the summons? What mistake? End up finding. What am I going to do? Tell me. Do you news up and MB? What am I going to? Are you arresting me for scripting a play? Kenya imefika hapo. Mtu akaandika play anafungwa na polisi yao wote. Polisi yote kuja na bunduki na kila kitu. Marubu. No. Tell me. I'm a Kenyan. I need to know. So umefika mahali penye tunaarestiwa. Hiyo dhuluma haiwezi bana. Ambia William Ruto aheshimu tu kila mtu. Kwa kama mwatuma mnishike na niko na court order. Court imesema, sio mimi, I'm not forcing anything. And it expressly gives me mandate to train the children. So you're denying the children their rights. Marubu, wewe ni law enforcement.
Hello?
Competent. That's unfair. That's unfair. Not in this era. Not in this era. Not in this era. Yeah. But are you arresting me?
I've not said so.
Yeah. So if you're not arresting me, I've refused to go. Because it's not an arrest. If it's an arrest to tell me I'm arrested, we go. Nijue I'm being arrested for writing a play in Kenya.
I said that.
So tell me. So are you arresting me? How police have you come to arrest me? Yeah? Sema. Because if you're not arresting me, always kuja na polisi hamsini, alafu nataka mimi nitoke hapa na wewe. Enda wapi? Usiku na wewe. If it's an arrest, give me a summon. You your DCI. Give me a summon, I go. I'll walk into your office. If you're arresting me, because me, I'm implementing the court's order. No. Ambia hawa jamaa haiwezekani. And me, I cannot be intimidated. I'll write what I want. I will think the way I want to think. Nobody can censor me. Tell William Ruto he will not censor me. The Constitution provides for that. So kama ametumanisha ati mimi nisiandike play, haiwezekani. I'll do what the court instructed me to do. If you want to defy the court, you're the DCI. Defy it. Personally, you'll be liable. Personally. Because I've served you the court order before cameras. So arrest me. If you want to arrest me for writing a play. Arrest me. Marubu haiwezi.
Sasa hata sijaongea. Mimi naenda kuongea unakataa.
Haiwezi. Pigia watu waambie wakuje waseme kwa nini other schools are being allowed to train. Trainers ndio wana train watu.
Wanaingia wakitoka.
Why are you denying Butere girls their right? Why? Wamekuja hapa directly, wamefungiwa huko ndani, they have been locked like prisoners. Like prisoners. And then wamefika saa hii hawajatulia, kesho asubuhi mnawapeleka stage. We have agreed they are going on stage tomorrow morning. You don't want them to be trained. Why? You don't want them to be prepared. Why? Yet the court has instructed that they should be prepared by their playwright. Haiwezekani, Marubu. Hiyo unyanyasaji ambia William Ruto haiwezi. Enda mwambie, yeye rafiki yangu mwambie. And tell the first family to stop interfering with festivals, with young kids of nurturing their talents. Achana hiyo story ba. So kama wamekutuma arrest me, twende.
We have to move because there's a tear gas. Jesus. Remember, all this is happening when just a few meters from where the students are. So that's what is happening. We are moving away so that we cannot inhale smoke.
We'll take off from that live broadcast just to allow our crew to just get safe. Ruth Sarmwe, George Kero, and the rest of the teams there, the media teams and everyone else, stay safe. Your safety is paramount and critical for each and every one of us. And we do note that this is happening in an area where there are young children, that is the students from the schools. So we hope that does not turn into an ugly scene. And we've seen, police just firing tear gas.
The advisors of the president are becoming petty and cheap. And I will repeat that if I were the president, I would allow that play to go on. And I mean, nothing will happen. If it is about the narration about how he masters all the roads, if it is about trying to expose what we feel are lies, whatever it is not more than what was said by Rigathi Gachagua. It cannot be more than what was said by the former Attorney General JB Muturi. It cannot be. And so this idea of trying to frustrate Malala is cheap, if you ask me. Number two, we must learn to respect the constitution. We must learn to obey the laws of the land. And I want to blame the judiciary. The head of the judiciary, Madam Martha Koome, when William Ruto got to power, they got to bed. The judiciary arm of the government and the executive arm of the government went to bed, and they were working together. And that gave the executive an opportunity to capture and muzzle that arm of the government. And I remember there was a time when Martha Karua used to be summoned by William Ruto. I remember when William Ruto had warned the courts, the judges, that he was not going to abide by the ruling if they were going against his policies about the shift and the affordable housing. And Ruto told them blatantly he was not going to accept it. He even warned Kenyans who were going to court that he was given a sword to deal with them. And instead of Martha Koome fighting for her judges, she was summoned to State House, and she went for that, what she called an amicable, round table talks that did not mature, did not, bear any fruits. Instead, this muzzling has gone on, and now you can see the very, very thing that William Ruto was saying, that he was not going to obey court orders. I remember first it was Masengeli that refused to obey court orders, and then it was now his boss, IG Kanja, the highest authority, the highest man that heads this department that maintains law and order, refused to obey the court order. Now you can see, in the face of a court order, they want to blatantly refuse and decline as if that is just a piece of paper that can be torn. And this is why I'm telling you that tomorrow, people will be looking at it and feel that there is no need obeying the laws of the land. And I'm wondering how William Ruto expects the country to follow the law when all this is happening under his watch. And we all know that the reason why Malala is being frustrated is because of their fallout with William Samoei Ruto. No wonder one says that William Ruto did not support the advent of the new constitution. He actually opposed it. And I thought he really meant it. And even when he was taking oath of office, he was given the constitution and he swore to protect it and defend it. I think he was only doing that because that is what was written for him. But deep down his head, I don't think he was ready to defend the constitution, because look at what is happening now. This kind of dictatorship cannot help our country anymore. I said earlier that our leaders must be ready to be criticized. And we are not going to punish those who criticize us because they don't read from the same script as us. We are breeding dictatorship. It goes against the promise that William Ruto gave when he was telling us that he would not unleash and charge the DCI to discipline his competitors, or those whom he feels are not aligning and abiding by his political ideologies. You cannot force people to support you, to read from the same script as you. And so I felt that was very wrong as a country that brags of being guided by the rule of law. The same court that gave William Ruto his win, the same court that told Raila wild goose chase, the same court that under all the very tight circumstances declared William Ruto and sustained the verdict of the IEBC chair Wafula Chebukati, is the same court that the Ruto police, because Ruto is the commander-in-chief of all the armed forces, he controls them. Now the very police that report to him now decline to obey a court order. It is like the opposition then saying that we don't accept the court ruling and therefore we are not going to recognize William Ruto. We want to do it our way. That is very wrong. And we're setting a very bad precedent for William Samoei Ruto. William Ruto is setting a very bad precedent. He needs to change. And I can mention this. That head of DCI will find it very rough, because I know a judge, if Malala goes to court, a warrant of arrest will be placed upon him. And I wonder what is going to happen, because the same police are supposed to apprehend him, and I don't know how it is going to be done. I looked at that officer, and it is like he's torn in between a court order facing him, he's staring at a court order that is genuine, and the orders from above, and he's wondering what to do. You could feel him. So he's wondering, what do I do? If I allow this court order, if I obey the court order, which is the right thing to do, I get into trouble with my bosses. If I obey the bosses and disregard the court order, a warrant of arrest will be issued against me. Do you realize just how difficult it is to work for the Kenyan government? The powers that be will be calling you and giving you orders, and you have to say, yes, sir. Then you're doing that blatantly, breaching the law, going against the constitution, and you can face it alone. I mean, sometimes when push comes to shove, the president can decide to have some sacrificial lambs, and they can be, the policemen who did that can be made to pay on their own, because you cannot break law on behalf of someone. The police cannot say we were doing this on behalf of William Samoei Ruto. Yet we know that if they go against it, they also risk losing their job. So you decide, unataka kumwaga unga ama ufanye nini? Ladies and gentlemen, the president and the entire leadership will not have any moral and ethical authority to tell us that we should obey the law, because we see what is happening. I don't know what will happen. I don't know whether Malala was released. And you can imagine they are firing tear gas in front of the Kenyan youths. Those who are being taught that the president is a symbol of unity in the country. And yet they see William Ruto, who is the commander-in-chief, and his policemen doing this. It reminds me of was that Langata Primary School near Western Hotel, where primary school children were tear gassed. I think we need to change how we run our country. If we don't do that, then sooner or later we are going to regret what is happening. I'm looking forward to watching that live show, Echoes of War. I don't know, that is the name of the play. For Malala, it is a case of use and dump. Malala used to work very hard for William Ruto. Now they have fallen out. There are no more interest between them. And Malala says he cannot be intimidated. I don't know who will blink first.